Hey, good morning. It's May 9th. It's barely 12 hours since my last video. And like I woke up, well, I've been up just thinking about, I'm really excited about some things that have transpired after some realizations uh and something else that happened. And I I've just been laying there awake just thinking, oh, when I wake up, I'll do the video. And so I have excitement for that. I have excitement. My daughter and I are going to a concert tonight, so, but I need to get some sleep. But I'm just like so excited, and so I I have embraced that I am not a person that I cannot tell a story from point A to B. My story goes from A to S to C to R to B. I had someone years ago. Uh, it's like, Keith, just get to the point. And I know he didn't mean anything. I know that, uh, but I've had a lot of that in my life, and so sometimes I just, well, a lot of times I'll just stop. I just, all right, and or I'll just say the point, which doesn't make sense. It's like, what, how'd you get there? Like, you didn't want to hear that. You wanted the point. We gave you the point. Yeah, but why can't you just? Because I can't. I can't. But it took me, well, part of the 3 years has helped me to embrace that this is who I am. This is how I talk. This is just who I am. And so I've embraced that. But my friend Javiel, aka Jonathan, he gets the reference. Uh, I've learned so much since our communications. I hope I said Javiel. I might have said Raphael. I meant Javiel. Sorry. I'm so tired. Um, I'm so tired. But I'm gonna sit there and lay awake until I do this. So just so excited. And and people have, since leaning into this version of myself, embracing this part of me. Um, I I'm learning. I'm learning. A lot of these things aren't easy for me, and but I'm trying to lean into it because I know it's of God. I know. Um, I wanted to have scripture. Uh, I was like putting all this together. And I was laying there because I know that there's scriptures for what I'm about to say, but uh, I'm not someone who is able to retain a lot of, like, all of it. Like I know parts. I know, and as I continue to read more, I learn, and some of it sticks in. But so, like, I know that there's scripture for this. I just don't know exactly where it's at, and I'm not gonna try to pretend like I know where. But anyways, what you speak matters, and I don't want to. I'm so excited about some of these. Uh, there was a years ago, man. It's like the earliest. I had to share this. There was a something that happened at work, I was so mad. I was done wrong. I might have shared this story here before, but it's relevant. And I was angry. And so the Apple Shuffle MP3 player had just come out. I mean, months, maybe a year, I don't know. It was new. That was what it was. You didn't see the music. You didn't see, it was this little USB stick that you could plug your wired earbuds or headphones in. And so I was so just like normal. There's no, I paused it. My wife came down, and I'll add to that, but not yet. But the reason why she came down, and so just like normal, there's no edits. There's no, obviously I paused it. So I'm gonna try and pick up where I was at. My ADHD brain doesn't. No, I'm pretty focused on this. I'm like really focused. But I don't know exactly where I was at in my story, so I think I know. Anyways, so I was angry at work, and I was done wrong. I was justified to be upset. I was not justified to just want to do what I normally do. And so I have this iPod Shuffle. I think that's might have been where I was at, explaining what it was. USB stick, you listen to your music. And every night before I went into work, I would do a random download, unless there was like an album I had just got, or whatever, or a book. I would put that in the front, like in the beginning, because you couldn't see what was on it. So anyways, I would do these random downloads, and that's what I did this particular night. And so situation happened early in the day, early in the night. I worked afternoon, midnight at the time. And so I'm working, situation happens. I want to scorch earth. And so I sorry, I'm a little my wife and I just had a really good conversation. It was really good. So but I'm gonna go into all that. So and I'm trying not to jump ahead because I'm just so excited. So man, this is like 2006 ish. Whenever the Shuffle came out, it was like within a year. So whenever that came out is when it happened. And so at the time, I'm working on an assembly line, and so every job was like 45 seconds, something like that, and you're on to the next. Well, I was working on engines, and so I put my gloves on. I've always been clean. I'm always so I had my gloves on. They tease me at work because I love being. I just want to be clean, and I'm jumping. I'm all over the place. Sorry. So so it'd be easier. I put these Tyvek suits on, and like, seriously, Keith, and I'm like, I don't want to get dirty. Look at that stuff, and no, and then I'm gonna put that in my truck. No, so so I didn't want to get my white Shuffle. I put it around my neck, and I didn't want to get it dirty. So I would take my gloves off to skip a song because you had to skip it. There's all this stuff. So this particular night, I want to fuel the anger, fuel it, and I wasn't really aware at the time of I thought this said 18 minutes. I was like, what? So I wasn't really aware of I really hope that's a 10. So I wasn't aware yet of how music affected me. I knew how it did, but I didn't know quite the level. And I keep looking because it's at 48, 49. So I don't know if I need to make this 2 videos or not. Just talk. So I a worship song comes on, and I'm like, so okay, it's 11. So I was like, so I work on the engine, go to the next one, take my gloves off, go to skip the song, put my gloves back on, go to the next engine, and another worship song. This continues. I had to take my gloves off, same thing, because I wasn't about to touch my shuffle with my dirty hands. So, with my dirty gloves. So I kept getting further behind. I had to work up, continue on, and after several, like, it felt like a long time of skipping songs. I conceded, and I thought the idea of not listening to music was more appalling than just sitting there in silence and working on the engine and just listening to my head. And so what happened was it would be either worship songs or love songs. There was no hard rock song. There was no there was none of that. There was nothing to feed the fire. Nothing. And so what happened was my attitude started to shift. Started not getting so angry. I was like, what is happening? And some music playing, and my breathing starts slowing down. I just start like a calm came over me. I even went and apologized. This is before God was working on me with like apologizing to people. And I believe, I don't know, it's really early in the morning, and I don't remember. Either way, I apologized to that supervisor. He said, "Oh no, I could have done this," and I said, "Yeah, but how I responded wasn't like it just I shouldn't have fired out like that. I should have understood your situation, but it was like, and so I continue on rest of my shift, and I'm thinking, man, music is really powerful. I was feeding my soul with edifying music, with edifying my soul, and so my attitude shifted, and I was like, wow, that music is really powerful. And so I share all that 14 minutes to get to what we say about ourselves matters. For years, like my mom and I've talked about it. She said, Keith, when I went to ride a bike, learn a bike, how to ride a bike, I rode it in our basement, and because I didn't want to fall in front of people, and she said, you were so hard on yourself even as a kid, and so it had become common for me, like, Keith, why are you so stupid? Like, I'll do something. Keith, why are you so stupid? Keith, why are you doing? What is wrong with you? Keith, like, and I'd say all this, and I'm feeding, and I think I was unintentionally feeding stuff that had been said to me, or and I took it a certain way, or whatever. But I think I was unintentionally feeding what I believed others were seeing or thinking about me, and uh and and my friend Rafael, man, he'll send me these messages, and I told him the other day, I'm like, man, I have a really hard time with a lot of the compliments, the stuff. He said, well, get used to it. I'm going to keep on, and he said, how I've received his messages are, like, he's trying to build me up. He's trying to get me to see the good parts of me, the parts that my mom talks about, the parts my brother talks about. I will never use my brother's name. I don't believe I've ever used his. He's very private, and I only have one biological brother, and but he doesn't even like mass text messages. He's very private. But like, why do you? I don't know, this is what I do, and so this is how I talk to myself. If I cook something wrong, if my lines in the when I mow the grass are and like, Keith, why are you walking crooked? Why does it matter? The grass is going to grow again. Like, saw is off balance or whatever. Why does it matter? But this is stuff I've done for years, and probably as early as well, a kid riding his bike, learning how to ride his bike. This is stuff I've done. It's how I've communicated with myself. That's not good. And so I've been trying to feed, as I'm learning, as I'm growing in the Lord, I'm trying to feed the stuff that I'm noticing that it's like, wow, like, I don't want to say like a revelation, but whatever you want to call it. I'm trying to feed that part, because that's how I'm going to get stronger in those areas. Not by continuing to say, Keith, you're so stupid. Keith this, Keith that. And, Keith, why aren't you playing guitar? Like, why are you this, that? Why can't you just move your fingers right? Like, instead of that, like, I was doing this new for me technique on the guitar last night. I'd seen a video. I'm like, I want to try that. And I'm not afraid. Like, I want to do it. But I've always been like that, where I see something, I want to do it. And even with the bicycle, I wanted people to see me to do, like, how do you learn so quickly? Well, I was in my basement. And there's nothing wrong with that kind of determination. It's that having the fear of failing is the problem. That is what will hold you back. The fear of failing so much that you just don't even do. I love music. I love it. You know this. Anyone who knows anything about me knows. I have my guitars, my keyboard. I love music. But fear has held me back so much because I'm afraid of failing. I'm afraid of, what if I'm not good enough? What if this? What if that? So after the video yesterday, a lot of not a lot, two big things happened, and one that I recognized pretty quickly, and I was like, wow, on my next video. The one with my wife, though, was the one I was like, I gotta do this video. I want to strengthen this. And so what you say matters. How you talk to other people, but how you talk to yourself, how you talk about yourself, if you're like me and you talk to yourself about yourself, it matters. You are receiving what you are saying, what you're planning in yourself, what you're watering is growing. Whether you're watering weeds or whether you're watering flowers, it's something is growing, and it's what do you want there? So I'm trying to weed out. I'm trying to weed out the weeds. I think that's the right term. I'm trying to remove the weeds, and the hardness that has been there for so long. And when I recognize, wow, I wanna feed that, because I want that to be easier. I want that to be the common. Like, wow, Keith, you can do that. Oh, Keith, that's pretty awesome. Wow, Keith, check that. Keith, you a struggle you've had for years. You've just with something you've been working on. So, anyways, I'm jumping ahead. I'm just so excited. So, one thing I noticed yesterday is I was talking about my dislike for Deion Sanders. That part of me that was so easy to this is who I was for so much of my life. Like, that Keith didn't have a problem shredding people or telling people how I feel. It was like I almost took pleasure in causing them pain, and which is really messed up. But and I knew that then, but who I'm leaning into today, man, it's really messed up that's I took pleasure in that. But what I noticed is that I'm going on about my strong dislike for him, and then I said, you know what? His soul does matter. It genuinely does. I truly hope that he has found God. I truly hope that if he was to see a young kid sick, he wouldn't respond that way. I would hope that if some kid just said, "Hey, are you really?" Yeah, man, I am. Thank you. I hope you know. I hope you continue being a fan, or whatever. I really hope that is who he is becoming. I hope that he's recognized maybe some of his ways, because I'm no different. I've done the same thing. People would look at me and be like, Keith's a fraud. Like, he's acting like something he's not. No, this is what I'm trying to be. If you give me the chance, I'll apologize. Um, I've tried making right with people. I, if I've done someone wrong, I try to make it right. Um, I've gotten a lot better over that over the years. So why doesn't he deserve the same thing? The fact that I can say that is growth. But the part I really want to get to is my wife and I, in July, will be 25 years that we have been dating. And in part of what we were just talking about when she came down to check on me, she wanted to make sure I was okay, because a situation happened last night, disagreement, and I hurt her feelings unintentionally. I didn't mean to. I really thought I was helping the situation, and so I knew that I had hurt her feelings. I knew and so the situation, she'd left the house, went to her mom's, because that's where she was going anyways. But I was gonna go because, anyways, my daughter and her boyfriend were here. We're not leaving them in the house by themselves, and so I thought, this way they don't have to go over there. She could spend time with her mom. It was just a misunderstanding. It's a misunderstanding, though, that previously and for the last 25 years, this guy, because I'm I'm a professional at shredding people. I am, and I can take things that I've learned about you and I can destroy you. And I have strength in that. That is stuff that I've consciously worked on. Um, I learned to do that because of stuff in my life, situations that have happened, and I've gotten quite good at it. I'm trying to bury that person. What I won't and what I have never done is people that I truly care about, people that I do not want to hurt, I will shut down. I just go quiet. And because I don't know how to fight or argue or disagree appropriately without hurting the other person, because I will take someone's stuff that matters to them and I'll use it against them. Like, I straight go for the jugular. I am going for the kill shot. And I've caused a lot of damage over the years. I've caused a lot of damage. And but I've strengthened that part. And what I would never do is, I had way too much, even from the start, my like, I fell in love with my wife really quickly because of my illness at the time, and her always being there. My wife is everything to me. And so I just shut down, and I'll shut down for days. When we were dating, if something would happen, like, I had a lot of insecurities, and I knew it was just, I didn't really date a lot, so I had a lot of, I was very immature when first started dating in the dating world, in the relationship world. I was just talking because I have my hat on, because I have bad head, and so I would put my head down like this so you couldn't see my eyes. And she said, "Yeah, I don't know why you did that." I said, "Yeah, I don't either." And something I did to maybe to show that I was upset. Like, just leave me alone. Leave me alone. It's just don't talk to me right now. And I still want to be around you, but I just don't talk to me. So it's stupid. But I talked to my therapist. This is after my dad passed, and because we worked, I went into therapy. I will always stress how much therapy has helped me, and that if you even think you need the therapy, go. And so something I had said in there was my communication with my wife when we have disagreements. We have very few, but after my dad passed, we had a whole lot. And I know I've said that in the videos. I caused a lot of havoc, and I was literally fighting for my life, and so we had a lot of fights, and so there was a lot of silence in our house, a lot of uncomfortable, because I was dealing with the grief, I was dealing with failing my dad, I was dealing with failing my marriage, failing as a dad, just failing at work. I was just dealing with so much, and it is what it is. I've become very thankful for all of that, but that was the truth. I was fighting through all of it, fighting through my hurt with the church. Like, I was fighting, just fighting. Everywhere I was going, I was fighting, and so I told my therapist that, it's just not fair to my wife to have to deal with me being quiet all the time. And she said, "Keith, you need to learn how to talk to her." And I'm like, but I don't. For so much of my life, this is what I've done, and to protect the people I love, this is what I do. I don't know how else to be. And but you need to take steps. Well, apparently I've done that. And that's what I want to feed. That's the purpose for this video, is feeding that. So I the situation happened last night. She left, and I'm doing what I normally do. My daughter and I are going out, and we have a concert today. It's gonna be a daddy-daughter day, and it's a road trip, and I'm super excited about it. And she's excited about it. But then I had this hanging over my head, and I thought, this all happened in a span of maybe 2 hours, maybe. I don't even think it was that long. But it was in the first 15 minutes, she got her stuff. She got her, Mother's Day is tomorrow. She got her package to take over to her mom, and she left. I sat over my chair, put my music on, and I began my normal routine of just shutting down. All right, so like planning. All right, Saturday night, I'll just get up after she leaves because she has an event she has to go to today, and I'll get up after. Like I begin planning all this. So what's going to happen when I get home? Because I'm surely not going to call her on my way home, even though it was a 2.5 hour drive home. Because I'm not going to tell her. I don't know that she really cares, even though I know she cares. Even though I know that we know that neither one of us want to hurt the other. It's that, well, I don't know if she really wants me to call her. I start planning my shutdown and how long is this going to last, because of the, when, probably not going to be Sunday. Sunday, I'm going to have to put on a mask because we're doing this brunch with my mother-in-law. And so I'm going to put on a mask, and I'm going to have to put on this fake facade so no one knows anything's going on. That's going to drain me. And so Sunday's going to suck. And so the concert, like, I'm looking forward to it, but I'm going to be thinking about that because there's obviously strife with my wife. So I'm going to be trying to enjoy the concert, but I'm not really going to be enjoying it because I'm going to be worried about how's my wife doing. She gets home. She comes downstairs. She's like, hey, you want to watch the show? She got me watching the show. I'm like, no, I'm listening to music. Real short, like I normally get. She comes down the stairs, and I was like, what is she doing? And she said, are you upset with me? I'm like, babe, did you not see what just happened? She said, what'd I do? And I said, seriously? And she said, Keith, she said, I'm not mad at you. She said, was I hurt? Yeah, because I was hoping you'd go with me, but it was actually better that you stayed here. And I said, but I was just trying to help the situation. I thought I was doing the right thing. She said, no, it was. Just in the moment, it hurt my feelings because I wanted you to go with me. And she said, but it was actually better. They got to stay here. They didn't go. I got to spend time. She got to spend time with her mom, and they got to have a good conversation for a little bit. She said, it worked out. I said, yeah, but it was your demeanor. Conversation started happening. I pushed through. I allowed my wife to, I recognized what she was trying to do. She recognized what I was trying to do. And she says, I'm really happy that you're doing this, that you're going through. And I said, me too. I got up and I gave her a hug. I said, thank you so much. Thank you so much for this. For 25 years with her, this has been, luckily our arguments were very few, but over the last 3 years, been a lot. Well, it's not been 3 years. It's 3 years right now, but like since November of 25 for me, things have been more of a level ground, and things have been a little more stable. And I have my moments, but not anything compared to what it was. And it was huge progress, huge. And so I'm laying in bed and I'm like, I gotta do a video on this. And I'm like, I'm gonna do a video before I leave. And so then I'm sleeping, but then I wake up and I'm like, all right, Keith, just go and do this. Just go do the video, get it over, and just speak with the excitement with and then you can chill out and you can sleep for a few hours and then go and enjoy your concert. But my wife, I love my wife. I love her so much. And that was just such a like, if I part of me was wanting to email my therapist and say, but I've not seen her in a year now. And not that she wouldn't care. It's just that I just, I'm not going there. It just, but it was, and it's not necessary. I'm just so proud because something that she said, just take steps. But I've been trying. I've been leaning into this softer side, this new approach. I've been trying to feed the positive because this is what I want to do with people. I want to have Jesus conversations with people. I want to have conversations that lead people to Christ, and going crazy on them no one wants to be a part of that. No one wants to listen to someone who's doing that. It's like, yeah. So if you're seeing this and I've done, allow me a chance to apologize, because I think I've made right with everyone. But if I've done something, please give me the chance. I would love to make it right. And I don't want to hurt people. And so much of my life I did that. But I especially don't want to hurt the people I love. And it's such a massive step was taken last night. And I'm gonna feed that. I'm gonna feed that positivity. That Keith is awesome. That Keith, this Keith is, oh my goodness. This is something I've wanted for a long time, and I didn't know how to do it. And I didn't know how to get there. And just leaning into this softer approach has helped. And more importantly, just reading scripture, reading the Bible, leaning into Jesus more and more is what helped get me to this point. And I believe it. I will die on that cross. And man, this life is amazing. I had to go through these past 3 years. I had to go through them the way. I had to go through all those fights. I had to go through all of it. And I did. I just told my wife, and I'm gonna close with this. A lot of people give up on their marriages when the tough gets tough, and it's pushing through that the relationship gets even better. It's like, I think my wife and I just went through a monumental barrier last night. Like, I think we crossed something that, I mean, it's since the beginning of our relationship, I've been like this. She's seen how I am, and I know it bothers her, and I said, I do it for your protection. She doesn't understand that. She understands what I tell her. She has seen how I will handle other people. She's told me, I hope I don't ever see that side of you again on other instances. I've never been like that with her. She doesn't ever want to be on that part, but I don't ever want her to be there. What I want is, I keep looking over there because that's where it happened. That's what I'm going to strengthen, is that part of me. This is a 40-minute video. I hope I've kept your attention. This is probably one of my favorite videos I will ever do. I'm so happy. I'm just so happy to see the growth, to have it recorded so I can go back and look. My mom said the countenance on my face has been glowing or healing, or it's changed from my first video, and my demeanor, and I'm glad. I'm so glad. I want people to see that this is me. This is who I am. This is, you see me in public. This is me. This is who I am. And yeah, I'm going to keep leaning into this. So, Javier, aka Jonathan, I really, really appreciate our conversations. You have helped push me. You've messaged me in ways that I receive your messages. Sometimes I have to think about it. Sometimes I have to let it do its thing in my brain. And but since our conversation, since we have been building this friendship, you have man, you've really helped push me forward. You have leaps and bounds. You have really helped me see things that in a different light, a different perspective. Man, God is using you mightily, and I don't even think you know, I don't even think you recognize fully how God is using you. And man, your friend back home, he is truly blessed to have you. And I know he knows that, but I'm excited to hear what's going to happen with him. There's big things. I know God is going to use you with him, and he's using you with me. Man, I'm just so blessed. I'm so blessed beyond measure. I'm gonna end this, but man, this is probably my favorite. This will probably be my favorite video. That was a huge hurdle, and for it to not, man, it's amazing. I love this life. I am so blessed. If you, man, people end their marriages right before it gets the best, and my marriage has had its struggles these past 3 years, 2.5 years, and I think we just crossed a hurdle that I think our marriage is going to be more strengthened than it's ever been, and man, it just keeps getting better. It's wild to me. It's wild how God can take such chaos, such darkness, and if you allow him the chance, if you allow him to work in you, what he can do, like, I just can't stop talking about his goodness. I'm so blessed. Have a good day.